Trudeau acts like brave Sir Robin and cancels appearances at Surrey fundraiser over protest-related safety concerns. This is the Great White North Report.
I'm in love with the system, never going home. I'm in love.
Trudeau seems to be doing his best Monty Python routine as he canceled an appearance in Surrey, BC over protests-related safety concerns. Local MP says protesters were hurling racial slurs at attendees and volunteers. Big deal. You ever heard the phrase, sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me? Come on. So Justine canceled plans to attend a Liberal Party fundraising dinner in Surrey on Tuesday evening as a result of safety concerns over a large gathering of protesters outside the event. Large gathering, eh? Was this another trucker convoy in Surrey? A group of protesters were stationed outside the front gates of the event, eventually growing to around 100 people. Meanwhile, the trucker convoy had thousands. Started swearing, yelling, and screaming at anyone that was going through. Protesters allegedly harassed and hurled racial slurs at attendees and volunteers, many of whom were South Asian, according to the Surrey Centre MP Randeep Surrey. The volunteers were harassed, sworn at, called towelhead, raghead, you're all immigrants. And he said it's unclear what the group was actually protesting. RCMP confirmed that there were several vehicles and large trucks towing trailers that were traveling in a convoy-style loop around the roadway. So they're waiting for Trudeau. Pure and simple. They don't care about the actual volunteers. That's just part of it. Due to the size and composition of the protest group, for the safety of everyone, an attendance decision was made. It was not safe for the Prime Minister to attend the location. Surrey is not exactly the most safest place to begin with. But oh well. Trudeau's scared for his life. A real leader would have said to hell with it and gone anyway. He had thousands of people waiting for him in Ottawa and nothing happened. Yet he's afraid of 100 people in Surrey. So Trudeau did not enter the building and spoke to a crowd for about 3 minutes by Zoom instead of making a speech in person. I wonder how much these people paid. A couple of $100 per plate. Trudeau said he would return to see his supporters in Surrey in the future. Yeah, right. I actually don't think he's going for re-election in 4 years. I think he's going to retire and hand off the reins to Chrystia Freeland before the next election. If it's a natural 4-year cycle, he's going to retire. I think he's had enough. He went running back to Saskatoon, and he addressed what happened at the fundraiser in Surrey, adding that no one should be intimidated for supporting a political party. Well, he was intimidated. He didn't go. He was a no-show. Went and Zoom. The safety of Canadians choosing to make their voices heard in politics should never be in question as it was last night. You're in politics. It's dirty. It's not clean cut. Stand up and give your balls a tug there, Trudeau. Jesus. The fundamental freedoms we have as a country we enjoy as Canadians need to be defended and need to be protected. Right, there's the right to protest. Protests can get ugly real fast. That's true. This is our Prime Minister who let people tear down the statue of our founding father. Good work, Trudeau. So these protesters used expletives as they chanted against Trudeau and honked horns outside the convention center. Because they knew Trudeau was there. They probably advertised it. They knew where he was going to be. So they turned it into a hostile environment. This is not reflective of Surrey at all. Yeah, right. Kids get beaten. Teenagers get beaten in Surrey. A lot of homicides in Surrey. It's a very diverse city, a very friendly city, a very welcoming city. Right. Not a place I want to go to. So it goes to show you that how popular Trudeau is anywhere he goes. When you've been the Prime Minister that long, you're going to make enemies. And he seems to have made a lot of enemies over the course of his 6 years in power. Jagmeet Singh verbally harassed during an Ontario election campaign stop in Peterborough. Singh says politicians in Stoking Division must take responsibility for growing hostility. Well, he's one of them. He's not exactly clean himself. Says the aggressive verbal harassment he endured outside a campaign event in Peterborough was one of the most troubling experiences of his political career. Because you're a politician, you're a target. Once you become a leader of a political party, you have a target on your back. That's what politics is. It's dirty. Jughead Singh just wants the good part of being a politician, not the more unsavory parts about it. Again, give your balls a tug. So Singh was accosted Tuesday, the week before, by protesters before and after a rally at the campaign office of a provincial NDP. Video posted to social media showing protesters approaching Singh, shouting profanity in his face as he left the event. Some followed Singh into his vehicle, where they continued to yell and hold up a middle finger just outside the passenger side window. Protesters protesters could be here shouting, "You're a fucking piece of shit. You're a lying piece of shit." I agree, he is. So Singh said the incident reflects a worsening trend of aggression and polarization in Canadian politics. Well, you helped stoke that. You stoked the hatred of most Canadians towards you. You are no Jack Layton. Jack Layton would be rolling in his grave over what the NDP has become. Folks were saying really horrible things. Some folks were saying, "I hope you die," things of that nature. Suck it up, buttercup. We should be able to disagree as a society respectfully, maybe even angrily, but it doesn't have to come to a point where it's getting polarized, that people's safety is at risk. Oh, it makes me laugh. What a kindergarten baby. He's gotten used to dealing with aggressive behavior in public, but conceded that the verbal abuse he received in Peterborough would rank among the worst experiences. Well, it's going to get a lot worse because you're never going to win an election. He directed some blame at politicians who stoked divisions, though he did not offer any names. Well, he didn't name himself. So it has been a growing trend because the Trudeau years have been very polarizing in Canada. I think the Liberals and the NDP have definitely created a lot of hatred towards them. Not saying the Conservatives are entirely clean themselves, but Trudeau's actions over the last year have been pretty dismissive. Same with Singh. The NDP is supposed to stand for the blue-collar workers of Canada, and Singh totally failed them during the trucker convoy. Not saying the trucker convoy was totally a good thing. There were good people out of the convoy who really had legitimate griefs against the government, and he dismissed them all. Does that make it? So why would you want him to lead our country? Now, I myself wouldn't go that far as to go personally insult him like that, but I'm not saying we should go out and personally assault the guy myself. I'm not calling for any violence. But if you want to chant at him, that's perfectly fine. But for me, Trudeau seems to run and hide every time there's a crisis. Anyway, Canadians out there, let me know what you guys think of Trudeau's Monty Python Act. Leave comments in the comment section. And until next time, this has been the Great White North Report.
I'm in love with the